Hello, young learners. Welcome back to my channel Decode English with Supriya. So, today's topic, as you can see, is Wind by Subramania Bharati, a chapter from your Beehive textbook. So, let's see the poem. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the window. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So here as we see the poet is telling or rather requesting or ordering the wind, it's in imperative basically that please come softly. And why is the poet asking the wind to come softly? Because it is saying that when you enter, we see that you are shuttering the windows, you are damaging the windows, you are scattering all the papers, you're throwing down the books here and there, and I don't want you to do this. But is the wind listening? No. See, the wind is, look what you did. In this statement itself, we get to know that the wind is not listening to the poet, because what it did, it threw down all of them. Whatever books, whatever windows, was there, it was shuttering the windows, it was throwing away the paper and the books from the shelf. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. So, here we get to see the real nature of wind, the real nature of the natural forces that we have on our earth, right? It is not controllable. You cannot control them. And that is what it is. You cannot request, you cannot order, you cannot control them. It is also saying, the poet, that you are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Whenever there are people who are very strong, they can have a tendency of poking fun at the ones those who are weak. And here, wind is standing as that strong person. So the poet is telling that, you are poking fun, you are making fun of those who are weak. What are those things? The frail, the going down, the weak, crumbling houses, like the houses which are not very strong, the doors, the rafters, the wood, the bodies, the lives, and the hearts. Do you see some kind of connection over here? Though it starts with houses and doors, something very non-living and something which is very property and all materialistic, it gradually moves towards bodies, lives, and heart. In this line itself, you understand that there is a moment where we get to know that through the use of the poetic speech. Which poetic speech? Climax. The poet is trying to tell us and bring us to this position that, it is not only about the materialistic things which he was talking about, like the papers and the books, but he's also talking about the things which are weak as humans, the heart, the lives, the bodies, everything he's trying to talk about. So, is wind only a wind which has been used over here? No, it's basically a metaphor for struggles, for difficulties that humans face in life, right? Now, wind god winnows and crushes them all. What is the wind god doing? It is first, checking what is good, what is strong, what is weak, and then it is crushing, it is throwing away the ones, those who are weak. He won't do what you tell him. As we saw in the starting only, the wind is not listening to the poet. So, what shall we do? So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's stand strong together. Let's join the doors firmly. Obviously, we are the ones who can join the doors. We can all stand together firmly for each other and make strong homes. Practice to firm the body. It's not only about doors, it's not only about homes. You make yourself strong enough, make your heart steadfast. It should not be shaken on little things. Be strong, stand strong. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. So, what is the poet telling? That if you start doing this, the wind will be like your friend. It is not going to harm you anymore. Why? Because the wind blows out weak fires. those who are weak. It is poking fun at them. It is blowing them out. That is even the real nature of wind, isn't it? If there's a little fire, if there's weak fire, it is going to blow it out. But what will happen to the fire which is strong? It will roar, right? And therefore, the poet is saying that he makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. Is the poet trying to criticize wind? No, he's telling that, the friendship with wind is good. Why? Because it is teaching us to do good things, it is making us strong. We praise him every day, and we as humans, we should praise him every day because we know that its friendship is good for us, and if we stay along, we are going to stay strong. If we stay strong, it is not going to harm us or affect us badly. And that is what the poem is about, that life is full of struggles, and struggles will definitely come. So what are we supposed to do as humans? We are supposed to face those very strongly. Struggles we have to not avoid, but we have to face them with a strong strength in us. So, what's basically the short summary? The poet is presenting wind as a symbol of nature's power and life's challenges, both. And it says that, the wind destroys weak houses and fragile things, it tears them up, and it shows no mercy to the weak one. But for strong fires, strong people, they grow more ferocious. And, the poet is urging us that we should not be complaining, but try to make ourselves strong, call it our body, call it our mind. We should face all these difficulties with courage. Was this basically the central idea of the poem? Definitely, that life is full of difficulties, but if we are prepared, right? If we are prepared ourselves enough, then definitely we can face it and we can destroy our enemies. Coming to the theme, obviously we see the power of the nature. The wind is unstoppable, you cannot control it. It shows how it can destroy also and it can create also. It is having the power of both. It is resembling about the strength and the weaknesses. It is talking that how the weaks are being made fun of and the strong ones are being supported. It shows the life challenges, that how wind as a metaphor stands for struggles, and that how it is inevitable. You cannot just skip the problems of your life. And also it talks about the courage and endurance that a human can have mentally, socially, emotionally, physically. That endurance is required, that we stay strong, we stay robust, that we are not going to. So now moving on with let's see what are the poetic devices in this particular poetry. So the first is definitely personification. We see that the wind is being treated as humans, and it is being talked about like as if it is some character. Like it is being said that he won't do what you tell him. Second, there is apostrophe. Apostrophe is when you talk to something which is not like human. For example, the poet is trying to talk to with the wind, that come softly, don't do this, don't do that. So that is apostrophe. Alliteration, repetition, definitely we have, because we see repetitive use of the word crumbling, the sound is being repeated. Similarly, because the words are same, we know it's a repetition. And as I already told you, there is climax as well, because we see there is a kind of way in which it has been written. Like it starts with something very okayish thing, and then it goes deep down there, right? It is talking about crumbling even hearts. Then we see it symbolizes, the wind is symbolizing the hardships. So there is symbolism, and definitely there is imagery, because when we see the use of these kind of words, like it is blowing out weak fire, making strong fire roar. So those lines create an image in our head that wind which is strong, it is going around, and like that kind of thing. Coming to the next is anaphora, where we see that the second, third, and fourth line of the poem is starting with the same word don't, so therefore it is anaphora. Then we see enjambment, where we see that there are no pauses between continuous line, that it moves on, there is no at all stop. And then, as I discussed crumbling before as well, that it starts with house and then it is coming to lives and hearts. So basically the meaning goes more deeper, right? So therefore it is climax. Talking about the rhyming scheme, this is very important. I feel that you should know this is a free verse poetry. Now why free verse? Probably it has been kept as per the nature of the wind, which is, uncontrollable, and it is chaotic. You cannot now poetry was basically something which used to bind, right? And here we see it is talking about wind, so definitely you cannot bind wind, and therefore we see that the poetry has been written beautifully in free verse way. Coming to some important question, can be like, what is the wind symbolizing in the poem? As we know, we have discussed it very deeply, that it is discussing about the struggles and hardships of the life. Then how does the wind affect the weak and the strong? To weak, it is poking fun at. With strong, it is making them more courageous. It is, making them stronger. What lesson do we learn? That definitely it is like a teacher to us, wind, and we should learn to become mentally, physically, and emotionally strong, right? That is the learning from this particular poetry. How is repetition used? This is again important when it comes from the perspective of poetic devices, that crumbling, right? It shows that how, it is trying to poke fun at the weaker. So definitely it is trying to motivate us that we should be coming up more with strength. And obviously, as I discussed, why do you think the poetry has been kept in free verse? So that we get to know that there are no rules which you can put for wind. You cannot control it, it goes its way, right? And coming to the last one, what message did is the poet giving us? Definitely, it is trying to teach us that we should be strong and fearless and try to face all the challenges that come up in our life. So that's all for today. Please like and share the video and do subscribe to my channel for similar content. See you again. Bye bye.